There are only two things you can do to sell more. One, spend more time selling, and two, make sure that you're advancing the sales process at every possible opportunity. Now, you and I both know that there are things that get in your way, or more specifically, get in your calendar that prevent you from doing those selling activities, prevent you from getting out there and actually selling. So I want to focus today on the second half of that paradigm. I want to focus on the reps who are putting in the time, they're putting in the effort, they're having the meetings, the interactions. They feel like the ball should be moving forward, but they're not. They're not able to be successful for one reason or another. I've got 3 reasons for you. They don't know what success looks like, they don't know what to ask for, and they don't know how to ask. This is a pretty simple breakdown here. I want to keep this brief. But look, you should know what success looks like for your meeting. Otherwise, it's doomed to fail before it even starts. What are you trying to accomplish? What do you want to have as an outcome for this meeting? And if you don't have a desired outcome, you shouldn't have the meeting. Let me be clear about that. If you don't know what success looks like, don't go to the meeting, period. Now, you know that you need to have meetings. You need to have these meaningful exchanges in order to move the process forward. So do yourself a favor before you go into that meeting. Identify for yourself what you want to happen. Bonus points if you identify that objective with your prospect at the beginning of the meeting and maybe ask them what they'd like to accomplish as well. This is a recipe for success. Now, when you know what success looks like, you should have a pretty good idea of what you want to ask for. Should you ask for another meeting? Is it time to go to contract and look at the scope of work? Is it time to maybe ask for a referral? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Now, when you know what success looks like and you have a pretty good idea of what your sales process looks like, then it becomes a lot more clear of what you need to ask for. But between people not knowing what success looks like and then not knowing how to ask, this step gets lost. But it's something that can become a little bit more clear as you define your sales process, as you kind of script out what has worked in the past and what may very well work in the future. What do your customer acquisition practices look like? You should know that because this is what you do for a living, right? Okay. Now, the last part is also very, very simple. How do you ask for that thing that you need to ask for that is going to help you achieve the goal to make this meeting successful? Look, for a long time, I have relied on one question. I look my prospect in the eye or over the phone to the best extent that you can, and I say, hey, what does it make sense to do here next? That's all it takes sometimes is a nudge. It's a trigger for them that something is supposed to happen. It's really up to them what's going to happen next. I may be able to make a suggestion, but hey, look, it feels like we're on the same page here. Where do we go from here? That's a great question. That's all it takes. You don't have to get bogged down in closing techniques or wordy questions or scripts. Like, don't make it unnatural. Just ask for what you want. And if you don't know what you want, ask them. My friend James Muir wrote a great book called The Perfect Close that goes a little bit more in depth into this concept. He goes way deeper than I ever needed to in my career. I've been using this question for years. James went way further into the concept and does a great job of explaining it. So check out The Perfect Close if you haven't already. But what I want to get through to you here is that there are only 3 simple obstacles in the way of most reps who are doing the work. A little bit of planning, maybe 5 minutes before every meeting, is enough to more than double your effectiveness there. And I don't know why it couldn't be 3, 4, or 5 times the effectiveness that you have right now. Just know what you want to ask for and how to ask. That's really all it takes, and you can do this.